Alright, so I got this cleaned off, and I'm going to go ahead and crack these pump bolts and pull it out and do these seals. So of course I have my torque device on here so I can see how much is on these pump bolts. I read it's like 20 foot-pounds. So I got to turn that on. That was about 14. That one I just cracked there. That one was 18. So it's looking to be about 20. That one was 16. I mean, they're pretty easy bolts. So far, none of them are stuck. It's starting to look more and more like it's the pump to housing seal that goes around here, like I explained earlier, because it keeps seeping down here. It's seeping out of these bolts too. You know, and it's obviously not really seeping out of here. There's a little wetness there, but you know, it's not. That's usually kind of normal. Oh, I kept seeing these circle things in the kits, and I guess these are kind of like plastic stoppers. They stop a leak. Maybe that's what it is. It is interesting. I just heard some air come out from this bottom bolt where the leak is coming from. Bolt is wet. There's about 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. There's about 8 bolts. And they're all a ½ inch. And let's see if this pump will just slide out. So I'm supposed to be able to pull it out.
Well, it's probably stuck on the gasket. Might have to work the gasket off.
Okay. I don't know what she's doing. She hasn't told me anything.
Oh, good idea. So will that hold? Is this part of the pump right here, or the pump slides off? So go ahead and rock that back and forth like you were doing. There it goes.
Yep, the video. There. You should be able to pull it out the rest of the way.
You want to do it?
I'll do it.
Easy.
There we go.
It's leaking. See if you can get it in there. Alright, you can check. It's not leaking that bad. Let's take a look at the seal.
Alright.
So see if there's any.
So there's a seal along there, that yellow line. And then there should, under here, this is a gasket right here.
There's a lot of liquid here, right? This is still the bottom. This, yeah. And so this is where I think it was leaking through here.
Yeah, so you actually have to undo these bolts up here next. Pull that apart. The gasket comes out.
Yeah. Do you agree that this is where it was probably leaking from?
Yeah. There's a new gasket in the kit for that.
Okay.
Yeah, this gasket's deteriorated.
I see. Yeah, it is falling apart. So. And the looseness of those screws being 14 and 16 indicate that could. Is there anything? There's also this. Isn't there something that goes along here?
Oh yeah, that's the O-ring. That's a big O-ring.
There is an O-ring there. Oh, this.
Yeah, but you have to take this all apart to get to the O-ring, and then you put it on. You put it all back together.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all saw that clearly, but what I did is I took one of these pry bars here, ran it into one hole, wiggled it, and he pulled on the shaft, and that was able to be enough to get it to pop out. So yeah, if it's a friggin' bone stock transmission that's probably never been opened before, it's going to be a little bit tough to open, but yeah. He's got the flashlight in there looking at all the shims and stuff. Yeah, because after that it's just pulling shims and shims and shims out by hand. All that stuff's not bolted together. It's just.
And the purpose is just to stop this leak. It's tempting to go ahead and, but we just really want to get this leak stopped.
Yeah, so it's looking more and more a lot like it's that gasket, because that gasket's pretty responsible for being around, the bolt holes, because it was more coming out of the bolt holes than the edges of the pump. So it looks like it's just that gasket deteriorated. So we'll get that apart in a moment and change everything.
Just doing what's necessary.
So far the gasket here is the easiest. It just scrapes right off. You can clean it up. But the challenge is going to be the O-ring, because obviously the O-ring, you can't just stretch it out, pop it off, and pop a new O-ring on. You have to take this assembly apart, and then you get down to where the O-ring is and you can change it out.
I'm thinking that this.
And there's a bunch of springs in here, but I'm not too scared of them because you can put it back together.
Whenever you're doing stuff like this, put your other hand behind it, not like this.
Yeah, we're going to start with the gasket. He's a pro gasket cleaner.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here's a new gasket right here, and here's the shaft seal, and there's a shim here, but I'm not sure if I'm going to change that out or not. And then there's the O-ring. It's got a white line on this one. Maybe it's originally white. So yeah, the one on here has got like a yellow stripe to it.
like getting all this gasket in those holes.
Might be about further to show them something. So, I'll be honest, I made a mistake with this. So this doesn't actually go on the shaft. This goes behind the front seal when you're looking at it from the front. That seal there, you pop the seal out, and then you'd pop the bearing out and put a new bearing in, put a new seal in. So to make this complete, it's easier to take the bearing out when you have this apart. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it apart. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. And the O-ring, you don't have to take this apart to take the O-ring off. The O-ring just stretches around it. It's no problem. Just like I figured earlier. But I'm just gonna, yet again, I don't know the torques on these, so I'm gonna just pick up what the torque is.
You're going the wrong way.
Oh, okay. Clear it. There's one. That was 16 foot-pounds, so
Probably 20.
yeah, it looks like they're 20 again. That was 13. That was 18 and a half. $16, and then the last one here would be 21.
Okay, 20.
Yep, so yeah, 20 on both sides.
Now remember there's
No big
springs
deal.
under there, right?
Yep, but there's like 4 springs. So okay, this is 8 here. Another 8, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's 20 springs, ironically.
Okay. So what I meant about the springs is that as you bring up the bolts, right, those springs should decompress. I don't know if they're compressed right now or not.
Yeah, what's weird about them is they're not. Last guy I saw take them apart. It wasn't compressed, but I'm still watching. Yeah, they just, you take this off and then they fall out because they're just there. But yeah, I can see it's raising a bit.
Yeah, I see it decompressing.
Okay, I would think. Okay. So this ring comes off, and okay, I forgot that.
Attached.
Yeah, the springs are attached. I forgot about
Cool,
that.
that's good. So?
Yeah, and then the face, you should be able to flip it around. Oh, you put a bolt in there to hold it. Okay, cool.
So,
Yeah.
shouldn't this lift up?
Yeah, that should be fine. This is not gonna. I guess maybe.
Pull that, see what happens. No. Pull this. All right.
Okay.
What's on here?
Just
Be careful of those seals. Don't break those, because I don't think we have a replacement for those.
Yeah, we don't. I'll set that in there. I'll make sure now this nothing should fall out of here now.
So what's the point of taking these bolts off?
To get the face off on the front. So now you got to flip it around.
Well, what's going to fall off?
The face of it might. I don't know how tight it is.
Like this, see? So you want
the
to...
face in there?
The whole thing's coming off. Hold on. You want to lift it?
Yeah. Yep, and then there's
Did
just those
anything
gears.
fall?
Nope.
Or is that your knees cracking? I thought I heard something go thud.
Nope, we're good.
What's that? Alright. I didn't see anything bounce, but I heard something go thud.
Well, it's a bucket. Whatever it is, it falls in the bucket.
Well, I was thinking it fell out here.
These gears pop out.
All
If you
right.
want to, well, you got to take them out anyway. But they like to keep them together.
Maybe just this.
I mean,
Can we just take this and put it in here?
yeah, this is going to fall out too if we flip it around, so it's got to come out.
Got a magnet?
Yeah. Oh, maybe the magnet will work on it. It's kind of a weak magnet. Okay. It's working. There you got it. Now it should be able to flip around. And you can take the bearing, the seal out and the bearing out.
Do we have anything to collect all this fluid? I guess the bucket.
There's a container right here. You just dump it into.
Okay, so now something weird going on here. It's too bad these holes are.
Yeah, you cut it just perfect. Like how the heck did you do that? Never had something just fit so perfectly, just randomly.
All right, so we wanted to tip this around so we can try
Well,
this.
You gotta pop the. You gotta.
Well, how did he
seal
take
out.
the seal? Didn't he take the seal out this way or no?
I see. Maybe I guess you could do it that way with a screwdriver.
Well, did he show you how to take the seal out? How did he do it?
I see. Give me a moment. We'll be right back. All right. So take a screwdriver. You got your pieces of wood to level it out. and then just like a wheel bearing. Feel it working out.
Let's see. Let's take a look at it. Well, didn't really.
There.
Now, what damage was done? Not much. Then we tip this over. And then
You get something to knock it out.
we got something that kind of fit.
Uh-huh.
Almost. What size is that one?
35 mil. It's a 36 mil.
That looks like it would work. What's this? We never used it before?
No. That's alright, you can pull it out because you never know when you need it.
Yeah, it's starting. You can. So I don't know. Does this go all the way? Does it go all the way through? I guess it
Seems
will.
like this.
You want to finish it?
Yeah, of course. That's it.
Harder. Bang it hard. Alright, give it some more lube, man.
Yeah, it's coming out. It's out.
Okay. So now we flip it over, put the new one in.
Yeah. So there we go. Success. That's how you get a friggin' bearing out. Alright, there you go. Grab new bearing. Alright, so now he's going to go ahead and get this bearing started. So far the difference is we got a GM F11 bearing, and then we got a Clevite 1588 bearing. I got this kit. Apparently this kit came from Phoenix Transmission Parts. I got it off Amazon. So yeah, see, not a sponsor, but see how this kit
Will you reach
does.
over there and get that hammer thing? Socket.
And we're using a 36 mil socket, and that seems to work pretty good with it.
Yeah. Sure. It's already getting cocked. Hmm. Gonna go in straight.
Have to put it on a press.
Probably is the best idea.
Alright, we're moving to the press. This needs a press.
As much visibility, but it does have promise. WD-40's right here. So I hope we get the length. Oh, actually, we probably do. Got it on.
Yep. His arms in the way, but it's all right.
Oh, right. Maybe it's all the way down.
Yeah, I know. It tricks me too. I've had that with the wheel bearings.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that seemed like, felt like it.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, that should be good enough.
Take
yeah.
it over there, and we can put the seal in this way too.
Yeah, that's what I was starting to think. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's set that. The plate. Take the plate. Wash dishes. Of course, the red part goes down in, and then this metal part faces outward. That's why you have a press.
That good?
Yeah.
Now, we need something that will span this.
Okay.
How about those blocks?
Yeah, there was some like small.
How about these
wood
blocks? How about these
Oh, right,
blocks?
right here.
No. No.
Alright.
No. I'm pointing to it.
Okay, give me a sec. Oh, those. So, there we go. He picked up a bunch of friggin' trash boxes from the curb the other day, and they came with these. I think it came out of a box for a bathtub, and they had these shim things in there, and I had a reason to keep them because they're thick and they're solid. Maybe they're solid. I don't know. I haven't tested one. We'll see how this goes. They split in half and they're junk. They're kind of like wood, I don't know. Some kind of, yeah, they seem like some kind of particle board. It's like laminated over. I don't know. Seems good. Did it leave an indent in the block?
I heard a crunch. Crack and crunch.
That's pretty good.
So, everything's in straight.
Oh, good. Now
Now you just need that seal.
Van transmission. Alright, switching the camera. Alright, it's reassembly time. Put this thing back together. Flip it over. Put those gears back in. Pretty clean. Now transmission. Fluid out. Can you cut yourself on gears? I guess you can. Wait, before I drop these in, there's an obvious difference here how these go, so
What?
be right back. Just to know exactly how the gears go in.
What do you mean exactly?
Oh, you see how this is different? How does that matter?
Well, I'd say it does, because that's what happens. Is that's where the torque converter. I mean, doesn't the torque converter have that?
I mean, I got video of it, so.
No. Yeah, because this is where the torque converter goes in. Yeah, I was wondering about those. Alright,
Okay.
I think it's that way.
Oh, we'll be right back. Alright, so just one thing, the quick note, because there was some confusion how these went, because you can't exactly, when you're in the moment of doing things, you can't remember all these little details. You got to go back. Good thing I got this video here. But anyway, each gear here has a mark on it. The inner gear has a square and the big gear has a triangle, and both of those marks have to be facing upward towards you, so when you look at it you should be able to see those marks on the top. If you don't see them, then the gears are wrong, because the other side are not marked, so and I'll show y'all in a minute here. Get closer. Y'all probably saw it a little while ago when we first took these out. I don't know exactly what they mean, what's the purpose of them, other than you make sure that you don't mess up how you put the gears in.
Or the torque converter won't go in right, because this is where.
Yeah, because these tabs are actually, they slide into torque converter, so it's a very critical thing. You don't want to screw it up. I'll show them real quick.
See that nick in between the two?
So you see, there's a triangle where my thumb is. There's a square. Both of those have to be facing up, just like this. This is the correct way right here. Now we're going to put everything back together. Put this O-ring on, put the gasket on, and we should have a sealed transmission.
Ready?
Yeah.
I'll put these screws in. Oh, that's
Yeah.
gonna be fun.
Yeah, and also these bolts, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but these bolts are also 1/2-inch socket too, so it's all around the same thing, same torque spec, same size. And of course you gotta make sure they're lined up, so the springs don't pop out. They stay in there. So that's a plus. But they are compressed, so you have to work with that to get it right.
Okay, so what do I do?
Here you go.
Hold on.
Alignment pin.
There it is.
Also, this metal thing right here has got a seal on it as well. Obviously, that seal is not in the kit, so that's something to be careful of when you take that out, because you can damage it.
Where's that? Oh, the gasket goes here.
Yeah, everything's in the pan there.
So what seals this stuff?
It's just metal to metal.
Man, shit, there's a hair in there. Yes.
Yeah, boomer hair.
Wasn't mine.
Some factory workers' hair.
This is tough.
It's probably a 40-year-old hair. Oh yeah, another thing with that ring I mentioned on the pump, that thing, you can take it out kind of easy, but when you go to put it back in, you got to be real careful. You got to work it in, and it'll eventually pop in.
Think that looks right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I
that
can
would
watch
mean
the
that all
video
these
again.
holes, and it only goes one way.
All of them are aligned right now.
Yeah, because this thing only went one way.
Another hair.
Where?
Right there.
I don't see
You don't
it.
see the hair?
No.
Well, pick it up.
Where?
There.
Can't see it.
There's the hair.
Will you grab it?
Whoa. There we go. Get the little hair.
Alright. So these screws here are what determine the alignment. Here's your
Screws.
Of course, you're going to do your normal torque sequence, which is one side to the other, right?
No.
You're not?
No, you're doing a star.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Better.
Star, that's good. One side to the other. One, two, three. One, two, three. Oh, kind of lost my track.
Alright, got to set the
Well,
20 foot-pounds.
So get down where you're going to start torquing.
Right here. Okay. All right.
I can't hold this.
All right, they're good. Torque. Now we can throw O-ring on, gasket, put this thing back in. Third battery, and now we're down to the final part where we're putting the gasket and the O-ring on. So the first thing, of course, is the O-ring. Like I said, you just need to stretch it. So where's the new O-ring? That's right there.
Yeah,
Keep it over on my side.
Yeah.
Here, so I know where it is. And then you just run a pick down in here.
The camera can barely see. Let's turn it this way. So.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That
Take it out that
mine's
way.
a little.
It's a shorter way.
Okay. So the O-ring. Now, of course, make sure the white line is out.
So at the start you took over.
What's nice about the new rings is that, you know, turn it around so I can see it's all the way seated. What's nice about these new O-rings is that they're more flexible. That's an older, more dry, cracked one that doesn't stretch that well. So this is good. Got a new O-ring in there. Now we need the gasket. Just got the gasket over here. And just like we had to line up these two pieces, gotta make sure we line up our gasket right.
Doesn't seem to line up.
Well, oh, I mean, you use the transmission as an example of how the.
You put it on there?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, actually.
I don't know. Does it have pins?
Oh yeah, it has holes and stuff marked right here. Oddly enough. Oh, weird. It's all weird, complicated gasket. Well, it is on there too, so hold on. Bring it back up here. Yeah, that's fine. Oh no, wait, we got the wrong friggin' gasket. This thing's not making any sense.
Alright.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to figure it out too. Most of the, so on this side, you get all these holes. On this side you have all these holes. That lines up better.
Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah, that's perfect. Transmissions, they're unnecessarily complicated. But yeah, you know, you just line up the section with all the holes next to it, the big...
I feel grit under it.
Yeah, I'm gonna clean it up. And of course, yeah, so the spot where the holes are the biggest, biggest open spaces, you make sure it's where...
I went with these holes here, lined them up.
Yeah, that too, you know, where there's a bunch of
Now,
multiple holes.
There's an extra right there, and an extra right there.
Yeah, I know.
Everything else lines up right. I'm not missing anything, right?
No.
Those are just extra holes.
And
There's
then
something else.
this is how you know how to put the pump in right, because these big holes here align with the big holes on the bottom of the transmission here. So yeah, I'll go ahead and put this in. Alright, so we realized that, you know, of course the O-ring's gotta get ATF on it so that it slide in better. So now we gotta take the thing out. Do all that shit over again.
So all it is, last time was just holding this and
Headache.
pushing. Like that. So we still have everything here. Gaskets there. It's all lined up because these pins are there. You see? So it's not that big of a deal.
Alright, so we got an ATF
And then now you can get it all around here.
alright.
And hopefully, hopefully we can get it in close enough so that the screws will catch and draw it in.
And if y'all notice, we use pins to keep the thing aligned so that you don't lose track of where your bolt holes are. And of course, it has to be a special way because there's chambers in there for the fluid and they have to be aligned perfect. So now we got...
You need any more?
No, I'm good.
How's that?
It's good.
Sound like it went right in. Heard metal to metal, didn't you?
Yeah, so feels better.
Wow. sure. I don't know if that'll work. It's there.
That one's beeping, that one's beeping. This one here is good. This one up here is good. Over here is good. There's good. That's good. Yeah, I'll cheat a little bit. There we go.
Alright, we're done. Right?
All 20. That's how you take care of a front pump seal kit. Redo all the seals. Now your transmission shouldn't leak anymore, because that's usually the main source of transmission leaks.
Hold this.
These front seal, pump seals going out. Especially the gasket deteriorating. So, see, what are you gonna do?
Test fit torque converter.
Alright, yeah. Need to do that. I'll have a link for the seal kit. Yeah, it said Turbo-350. I got it, and so far it works for Turbo-350. So, but I think there's some other transmissions that it's compatible with. I think the Turbo 400 is the same way.
It's just hard to get the alignment on these. That's right here. Yeah.
Well, it works. Hopefully, it holds ATF. Now, I'm also prepared for the rear seal to go out. You never know. There's a seal kit for the rear where the drive shaft connects, and there's a cone that comes off, and there's a O-ring seal behind that. And there's also, just like there's a front pump seal that you press in, there's also the same thing on the back.
Is this one leaking?
So far, no. I think they call it the tail seal.
This part off, this whole thing off?
Yep.
Don't really want to do that. You can do that with a transmission in, right?
Yeah, that one's a lot more easier. This is probably the most complex of the seal jobs, is taking this pump out, disassembling it, all that. Yeah, but it's good. Yeah, I checked the shims. Shims don't seem too worn out, and like I said earlier, transmission works fine. It's just leaking, so supposedly we got the leak fixed for now, and hopefully it stays like that for a long time. So see y'all next video, putting the thing back in, testing it out. Peace.